Well, of course, this is March, so March is the month where, and in fact, the devotion topic for the month is actually pastoral ministry. And I want to give you maybe a little bit of insight into what it actually means to be a pastor and how that impacts individuals who are doing that role. And there's people out there who have no clue. It's like in and I've got the detractors and people who talk smack or whatever. But I actually come from a world that these people would never know because they've never been in it, they never served in it. They have no clue what it is. First off, they don't believe in God. Secondly, they don't believe that there's even a need to even go into a position like this because it's not necessary according to them in their own spirituality. That's their decision. Not it is what it is. But there's several of you who know that what a pastor is something that's actually it's actually a very big deal and a calling that's been ordained by God to do the work of ministry. And you can read about that. In fact, the best place to go to for the call of it is maybe Ephesians chapter 4, but you can see the life of Paul as he was being a pastor to several different churches where an apostle just going to different places within the New Testament world and really trying to kind of shape the people in their theology and faith understanding Christ Jesus, but also to try to freaking keep them in line because they were acting freaking nuts. If you want to see what they're doing, just look at the subject matters of First Corinthians. Okay, so talking about like incest and folks getting drunk at communion. I mean, come on, man, like seriously. But that's what people. It's human nature. Well, a part of this that I want to speak into this morning, and I'm going to talk about the Ezekiel 34 type pastors out there later, and I'm going to probably bring a little heat, but I want to talk about right now to the pastors that, first off, I'm not going to name names because I know that they're involved in systems that are completely unhealthy and actually are not biblical, but they know that there's situations and issues within the body in which they are serving. They also know that there are pastors out there who not only give everything that they have for their congregations, but their congregations or their boards, they turn on them in a heartbeat. In fact, they make almost they almost make it like a duty of their own to negate, to frustrate, to use the individual that is in their pulpit, and they do so to their own detriment spiritually, but then also to their own judgment. And so these individuals, they do that to their pastors. And then there are pastors out there who are, they're just stuck. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you exactly what this means. In fact, this is the piece that takes courage from individuals who actually are pastors. See, the one thing that I was always adamant about, in fact, going through college, was to have an ability outside of one ability. So like you guys know, like at some period of time, I was actually I've been an engineer for years, but I was actually into real estate and did stuff. So I had like side gigs, right? Well, sometimes you just actually need a side gig to keep you up. And what happens is pastors, there's pastors out there who have been brought into establishments, not just one church. I could talk about one church specifically if I wanted to, but it happens actually all the way around the United States. There are pastors out there who don't have a skill outside of ministry, and then the ministry can actually use these individuals and give them basically a golden handcuffs of income and a goal and or the I guess I don't know if they call it golden hand. I guess, yeah, golden handcuffs of inexperience. So the handcuffs are, you pay so much, the church pays so much for these pastors that if they left, they would lose out financially. Or the pastor has no other skill outside of ministry, so they have no way and no trade outside of the church they're involved in. And what ends up happening is, and which goes directly into this devotion, is that these individuals, the individual who's been used by their church congregation or board, the individual who has experience outside of ministry, the individual who understands and sees that there are things wrong within the system that they're a part of, but they've got the golden handcuffs which keep them quiet because of income. These are real things in real life that pastors actually deal with. And these individuals are people who have integrity. These individuals are people who have strength. These individuals are people who have an actual call, okay, that aren't just cogs, because actually what they don't know is that they're just tools for whoever it is that they're working for. That's all they are. They're a freaking tool. And it sucks, but that's the truth, okay? And the deal is, I know I'm speaking to hella people right now. I'm speaking to a gang of people right now. And you know it and I know it. And I'm just, again, you know it and I know it. And what ends up happening is these people get so depleted, so discouraged. It's almost like a sadness is just welled up in their heart and their spirit because they can't speak to the truth about what they're experiencing, what they're going through, who it is that they actually work for, who it is that they actually serve, and how it is that they actually are treated. They can't do that because they understand they've got the handcuffs of income and experience around them. And this is where it's important to even to go to the Bible to see, how do you get around that stuff? How do you maneuver around it? And this is what Paul did. Paul basically came up. Hey, he was bivocational. Okay, and what I mean by bivocational is you have a means of trade and you have a means of ministry. And what that does is it allows you the freedom to move in and out of the places that are not healthy, that actually are not ministry, they actually are businesses, and that are not churches, they actually are places and dens of hell and Satan. Okay, so I'm being real when I tell you that they're dens of freaking Satan, because they are. So the deal is, these pastors, you as a person who might be watching this, you might say to yourself, like, how do you tell? Well, this is where you ask questions. And when you get the non-answers, where you see the heaviness come upon the individual who's a minister, just understand they will never tell you what's going on. They won't. But what you have to do is you got to pray for these people, okay? And if you have an idea about what to help them with outside income, freaking just drop a quick hint. Hey, yo, you know what? I got these positions with my company that could really use a person of integrity. Like I know what I'm going to be doing with my business later on, and it's going to be in a completely other piece of this, and it's going to be specific for individuals who need this help. Okay, but that I can't even get into that, so that's going to be freaking ways away. But if you are a person who's a business owner, and you know individuals who just need to be trained, and you can kind of tell that maybe if you just drop you got a freaking, hey man, your job suck. No, it's just like, hey, man, we really could use somebody like you. But if you ever thought about it, just think about it and just drop a hint. Just all you got to do is drop a hint, because what that does is, in the individual who understands what it is that they are, what is it they're viewing, what is it they see every day within the ministry that they're in, they'll think to themselves twice. Okay, they'll think about it twice. The individual who's fine in the system, they won't think about it at all. They're like, I'm freaking cool. I'm getting paid. Well, that's, again, like I said, handcuffs of inexperience and handcuffs of income. So when you read through this devotion, these individuals, they don't lead the double lives. They're not individuals who are actually, like, to their core, aren't even Christian. They're actually not even the individuals who you'd say are trying to make a name for themselves. These are people who understand and know that they have been called by God to be a pastor. And so I'm saying this to you because you need to know this. Individuals exist out there who will not talk about what's really going on, because this is an entire world that you're not a part of, that you experience and a small piece of it, but you're not a part of. And what these people need, who are a part of this world, they need your support via prayer. All right. So when you read this devotion, just understand that I'm talking specifically in this video to a world that you've never been in, but this world exists. And people can make fun of these individuals all they want to, because people will. People will malign these people all they want to, because people will. But understand that these people, they will do everything possible that is truly in the realm of their ability to assist individuals in distress. This is what pastors do. And this is a part of the psychological piece, is there's actually a lot of people who are rescuers, which we need to get through that crap as well, because that can be bad. So anyway, I'm breaking this video because I need to just talk plain to you, so that you see, hear, understand that there's a lot more to this than meets the eye, and a lot more of the people who are titled pastor than you could ever understand or know.